What's up guys, Abe here, and today we have a Blackwing deck profile, updated with the brand new February 2022 ban list, 222. It's a lot of twos there. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into the deck profile. So, for this deck, I want to make it a little more simple, especially now we don't got the Samorg anymore, so we don't have like the, the little combo with like the Avion at the end. So I just try to make this as aggro as possible. We don't play any hand traps in the deck, so yeah, take it as you will, if that's how you say it. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the deck. We have triple Simone the Poison Wind, so obviously this gets you the Black Whirlwind, and it grants you an extra normal summon even if you normal summon it. So you have an Oster in hand. That way you get to summon back whatever it is from the Banish Zone. There's just a little combo you get to do with it. Also, you can also synchro with it in Oster, and that way you can get into full armor master really easily. So Simone the Poison Wind, really great card. For the next one, it's going to be our level 4s for the deck. So we play triple Chris the Crack of Dawn. Honestly, if like you open this when Black Whirlwind is going to be your main combo starter, because activate Black Whirlwind, you summon Chris, and that way you can kind of search anything you want in the deck. So Chris kind of helps you search whatever you want in the deck. And also he does have the effect as well, like Bora, you can special summon him only once. Not like Bora where you can summon as many times. But yeah, if you do need the extra extension, Chris can also do that too if you open multiples. As long as you have a different Blackwing, Chris has to be a different Blackwing. For the next level 4, like I mentioned, we play triple Bora. This one doesn't have that effect where it's like you have to have, or like, you can only summon it once from your hand. You can, if you have like multiples and like a Gale or Chris or whatever, any other Blackwing, you can just summon it out on the field. So yeah, but also he just helps out going to level 7s, level 6s, whatever you need to do. For your tuners, we're playing triple Gale. Gale's really good. Also, to have his attack sometimes comes in super handy, especially if your opponent can't negate it, or if you're already like, how do you say, baited their negate or whatever. So, and Gale can basically get over anything 2,500 or more, or 2,600 or less, I should say, if you want to crash into something this 13 as well. So yeah, you can even get over Ophion. For the next normal summon, triple Oster. This obviously combos really well with like Allure of Darkness, because you can banish a Blackwing monster as long as level 4 or lower, and you can still bring him back with Oster, and you can go into your Synchro and whatever. So yeah, Oster is really good for that main reason. Next tuna we play is triple Blizzard. Honestly, I don't see myself going into this that much first turn. I usually like going into second turn. Usually I like going into like, level 4, and then a Gale, and then you go into Blackwing Armor Master, because sometimes your opponent makes you go first. And you kind of don't want to waste all your resources, because then if your opponent does have like hand traps or whatever, and they stop you or something, you'll be like, you're kind of left with nothing and you don't have that many resources. So usually I like going into full armor master, or not full armor master, regular armor master at the beginning of my play, and that way your opponent has to then end resources. Well, we'll get there when we get there. But anyway, I was going off on a tangent on another card. But Blizzard, he helps you get into No Thung. What sucks about Blizzard, and I think even Oster, yeah, even Oster too, they can be special summons, so they're going to be your hard normal summons for the deck. Some people cut this down to 2. I just like seeing 3, just because, like, if you do have your Zephyros in the grave, or your Boras or Chris's, he can always be live. So yeah, so that's why we play triple of him. For your 1-ofs, 1 Zephyros, 1 Kalute, Harmington, and Orochi. Zephyros, because he's hella good. He can even bounce back the Black Whirlwind that you put with Simone, and I think you shouldn't take 1,000 because it's not on the field still. So that way you kind of dodge that a little bit. Kalute, I just like playing it just because it's your opponent doesn't know, or they don't think you have Kalute. Yeah, you can get over stuff with it. Harmington is good because it can manipulate levels, so you can go into your bigger synchros easier. And also, he's just another body. You can just spell summon. And Orochi is good just to kind of synchro climb a little bit. If you go into Notha, you can summon him. You can go into either Shidori or Hawkjoe, your Armor Master, and things like that, or even Quantum Dragon. So yeah. So that's why I play the one of, and also, like I said, just another free body you get to summon. We obviously still play Tri-Brigade from the last deck profile. We have triple Fractal, one Nerval, one Caress. I decided to cut it down to 1/1 because Fractal, you want to see it just because you can then send the Nerval, and then you get to add the Caress, and Caress is just kind of your easy special summon for the deck, because in that way, let's say like, you do Fractal, you send Fractal, you send Nerval, Nerval adds Caress, and then let's say you have Caress, a level 4, and a Blizzard in your hand. You could be like, summon Caress, discard the level 4, and then that way you have a level 4 in your grave. Oops, just hit the camera. And then you have a level 4 grave, so it makes Blizzard live. Also, like if you want to bait out like your opponent's negates, after you summon Caress, you can be like, okay, I have Fractal and Nerval on the grave. I can banish those two, summon Fairyjet really easily, and that way, like, if your opponent doesn't want you to summon a Link 2, for free, basically, you can, do that, and that way you can bait it out, and then afterwards you can be like, oh, if they do go, they do go for it, you get a normal summon Blizzard, go in, summon the level 4, and then you go from there. So yeah, so it just helps. Like, that's all that I say with the Tri-Brigade, it helps. Honestly, a lot of people want to see them get hit, but it is what it is. For our spells, we are going to play, obviously, triple Blackwing. This is going to be your search for the deck. Now we have multiple ways to get to it. We also play Wing Requital, and things like that. Lord Darkness to draw it, Simone to get it out straight from the deck, place it right on the field. With Blackwing, you can't add the same attack as whatever the monster is, has to be lower than, not equal to it. So that kind of sucks, but in any case, still helps to get out the extenders in the deck. Like, if you summon Chris, you get to basically search anything, or if you do end up normal summoning like your Blizzard or Ostrich, you can at least search out Harmonton or Orochi, and that way you just get extra monsters on board for whatever you need to do at that moment. Triple Allure, because like I said, it tandems really well with Oster. If you do manage level 4 from your hand with Allure, you can then always summon it back with Oster and then go from there. But another card I'm trying out as well, triple Wing Requital. You're gonna most of the time have 2 Blackwings out on the field with different names. So to use your life points as a resource to get more cards, especially if you end up dead drawing a little bit or whatever it is, to use your life points as a resource instead of like having to discard a monster from your hand or having to, whatever it is, to get cards. Wing Requital is great. You just pay 600, which is not a lot, to get 2 cards. I think any player would pay 600 to get 2 cards. And then Dark Ruler. This is like our one, I don't say hand trap, but like our one negate, because if your opponent does have a massive board with a lot of negates, then that can hinder you. So this just kind of stops it. Obviously, if you're playing some kind of back row heavy deck, this deck might not fare well with it, because we don't really have too much innate. We don't have innate spell and trap destruction. So like I said, like I always say with my deck profiles, it's just a template of cards to play, and then from there you can kind of make your own decisions. But Dark Ruler, obviously, like if you're playing a very combo heavy deck with a lot of monster negates, or against I should say, Dark Ruler helps to negate all their effects. And then the last card is a 40 card deck, Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn, just when you top deck it, it's great, especially if you're in a pickle. Now on to the extra deck. It hurts my heart to do this, but I am playing 1 No Thung. I used to play 2 in the last profile, but now, like I said, usually with the way things go and things like that, I just cut down to 1, also make space for other stuff. So 1 No Thung. Armor Master, I see myself going into this card a lot, especially when you're going first, and yeah, like, it can't be short of battle, you take no battle damage, so then your opponent has to find a way to try to spin it or destroy it, because whatever they do summon, if they can't battle over it, then they have to somehow destroy it or something. So yeah, full armor master comes in clutch sometimes. 1 Chidori, because if you're like in the late game and you're able to make a level 7 without too many, like, sometimes when you synchro and stuff, or you link or whatever, you're using too many effects, and that way your opponent kind of stopped you. Chidori, just kind of that beater, especially when it's late game. You have a lot of Blackwings in the grave. You know, you can summon if you're able to summon Shidori, he comes out and he gets a lot of attack points because of all the Blackwings in the grave. And if you just need to run over something for game, Shidori helps. And even in this deck, I don't even play Raikiri anymore because I feel like sometimes when you summon Raikiri, you don't have too many other Blackwing monsters out in the field. So that's why I cut him out from the deck because he's just not as useful as he used to be. But I still like playing Shidori because he's just a big beater that sometimes you just need. For our next level 7, Yugioh, because this can bring back your level 5 and higher synchros, basically level 5 or higher wing beast, yeah, so you can bring back your Nothung or Shidori or Armor Master, whatever it is you need to be. And also you can help redirect stuff, that way if you need them on the field. For our generic synchros, 1 Quantum Dragon, so now even without the Simorg, which protects your stuff, Cybers, like if you do have like Wise Tricks or a Tri-Brigade out and you summon this, they have to target your Quantum Dragon. So that's why I still like playing it. And also I still like Quantum Dragon because also he doesn't have a destroy effect if you're going to attack something or try to attack over something, because then it gets returned to the hand and it can attack again. So that's why I like playing the Quantum Dragon. Borlo Savage Dragon, because even if we don't summon our Tri-Brigades legally, you know, with the Tri-Brigade effects, you can still use them as material for the Savage Dragon. So you can make 8s somewhat easy with Oster. Usually we're going to use Oster because it's a 4, and then you're like we run a lot of level 4s in the deck. So Savage Dragon is pretty easy to make, but usually it depends when you summon them. So yeah, so Savage Dragon is just really good. And then for our next card, a new addition to the deck, like I said, I just want to keep it simple, so that's why I added Beals to the deck. You know, everything in the deck is dark except the Tri-Brigade stuff, but Beals, if push comes to shove, if you need to summon something that they can't really get over, or like you know that they can't, like if they don't have like the right stuff, Beals can be an annoying card to get around. So that's why I decided to play in the deck. Then for the last synchro, 1 Full Armor Master, because it can be affected by stuff. So yeah, Full Armor Master can be annoying to get around. And then for our links, Tri-Brigade stuff, we play Farragut, Rugal, and Shurig. Yeah, I mean, they're just good cards, and then Shurig lets you, if you do already have Hella stuff banished, Shurig helps you to search something out from the deck if need be. So yeah, well, that's it for those. Then for our regular links, 1 Wise Tricks, because it helps get out like Zephyros from the deck or things like that. So yeah, so that's why we still play it. Like I said, it kind of sucks you can't use them as link material, but I get it. You know, they gotta restrict the card somehow. And then for our last cards, you probably see this in every deck profile. Sometimes, like, you know, if you don't know what else to play, you just play something that you know works well. And we got Phoenix, Unicorn, and Access Code. Usually I used to have Borload, but there are those times where if you are able to like Synchro Climb or something, going into Access Code, you miss it sometimes instead of like running Borload, you know, because Borload needs 3 monsters, Access Code needs 2. And obviously, like, since you can summon links really easy with the Tri-Brigade stuff, as long as you use, like, you know, let's say you summon Rugal and then you have Karas out, boom, goes into Access Code, and then Access Code becomes 5300. But yeah, so that's why we play in the deck, because in case your opponent, you know, like I said, if you need to make the 1 push, Access Code can help if you're at that point. But yeah, that is it for the deck profile, you guys. Let me know down in the comments what you think about it. Like I said, just try to keep it simple, fun. It does suck that some of the if you do want high rarity Blackwing stuff, it is going up in price. That kind of sucks, but there are cheaper alternatives to them, so that's a good thing as well. But nonetheless, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you guys check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Twitter's where we're most active. That's where we want to talk to you more. Yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.